Can this crypto actually compete with the likes of Internet Computer, Ethereum, the likes of Cardano, Polkadot, and Cosmos Network? And you're also looking at the likes of TAN Network as well as Tommy. Can it hack it? I think this is worth paying attention. Hi guys, I'm your host, FD, for today's review of this potential crypto gem in our own opinion. So please sit back and listen to what we're going to say and then make your own decision. After all, you got to make it do your own research. And please, if you are new, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate your support, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful year, 2023 that is, and let's venture into 2024 where we are expecting great things. All the hard work from the past 18 to 24 months, this is what it comes down to. And for those from the UK, please note this video is not intended for UK audiences because the authorities do deem retail investments into crypto assets to be extremely risky, as you may lose all your funds. So without further ado, let's jump into this project. And that project is Elastos. It's under the radar, and of late it's been on a rip. It's retracing a little bit now, but let's jump into it. What is Elastos? Well, since crypto became a thing of value, and that includes Bitcoin, by the way, the race was on to find the successor to Web 2, which is where Web 3 came as a concept. For example, Bitcoin is a decentralized immutable ledger that allows people to put their trust in data. Ethereum, on the other hand, implemented a programmable blockchain that supports smart contracts, thereby enabling people to put their trust in code. Smart contracts, put simply, allow transactions to be automatically executed once contractual obligations are met. Hence, we say code is law. We've also had the likes of Internet Computer or ICP, Polkadot, Cosmos or Cosmos Network, the so-called layer zeros. You got Tommy and TAN, who came to the fore, as well as other major layer ones. But how close are they to the current internet and the so-called Web 2, as well as legacy finance, of course? This is an attribute which is hard to measure. Enter Elastos. What can they bring? Well, let's start by looking into what Elastos is. Elastos is a platform for decentralized applications or dApps that run on a peer-to-peer network with no centralized control. The old internet or Web 2 is a web of information. So if you click a URL, you get data. With Elastos, it is creating a web of applications. When you click a URL, you get code. The Elastos web is a special economic zone where Elastos tokens function as the base currency. Tracing its roots to around 2017, Elastos aims to be a blockchain-powered version of the internet. With Elastos, aside from the fact that you can gain full ownership over your digital assets, you do not have to access the internet in order to run dApps. Guys, that is a very attractive proposition. All dApps will run on the smartware, so you don't need internet connectivity. Let's look at some of the key features for Elastos. Through the concept of a smart web, Elastos has 4 pillars that enable network separation as well as platform flexibility. And these are blockchain, runtime, carrier, and software development kit or SDK. The blockchain separates application functionality between the main chain and sidechain for each individual application. The runtime gives the flexibility to run dApps outside of the Elastos operating system altogether. The carrier, on the other hand, is a peer-to-peer decentralized internet service where users are able to rent out their computational power and storage to other users. And finally, we've got the SDK or software development kit, which connects applications to the smart web that is beneficial to non-Elastos applications. So you can see those features have actually captured everything that other blockchains struggle with. Some of them are closed ecosystem, but Elastos is trying to open it up as well as connect the current internet or Web 2 ecosystem. The Elastos application or Elast operating system application brings the entire decentralized ecosystem into an application. This flagship product of the Elastos Smart Web is the entire decentralized ecosystem into a single application. Let's look at some of the value propositions from Elastos. First of all, with Elastos, users have complete control over their digital assets. Elastos is explicitly built for decentralized application performance. Elastos adopts a flexible main chain and sidechain blockchain design structure to improve computation, speed, and flexibility. Elastos also runs applications on Elastos runtime as opposed to an already congested blockchain, which makes it more secure. Elastos' economic model encourages wealth creation and generation. If you want to know more about that element, by the way, wealth creation and generation, please keep watching. There will be a few things that will fall in place and they will make sense to you there. Elastos also makes full use of existing Bitcoin computing resources in addition to being environmentally friendly through a concept known as merge mining. Merge mining is the process by which consensus is reached on both chains simultaneously, that is the Bitcoin chain as well as the Elastos blockchain. In this case, the Bitcoin blockchain works as the parent blockchain to Elastos, with the Elastos chain as the auxiliary blockchain. The mining pools will deploy merged mining codes and miners will submit proof of work to both blockchains at the same runtime. This concept of merged mining means Bitcoin network miners are highly incentivized to keep both networks running, bringing additional value to the Bitcoin network. Now, as you know, guys, when we are performing our reviews, we use our standard tool, which is our DEWA or our risk evaluation toolkit, consisting of 13 elements. And those 13 elements are decentralization, security, scaling, interoperability, the age of the project, social media presence via Twitter and via Discord. We then look at the project team as well as the project use cases before we delve into the project's tokenomics. So let's start with the decentralization first. Elastos is a decentralized internet and decentralized application platform that enshrines user digital property ownership, with the users retaining complete control over their digital assets. That is a very important attribute for its decentralization capabilities or credentials. The Elastos design philosophy integrates the convenience of mobile phones with the credibility of blockchain technology, thereby allowing users to access apps without going through a third-party intermediary. Elastos creates an environment in which digital assets can be traded peer-to-peer in a trustless manner. As far as security is concerned, Elastos is a decentralized permissionless internet dApp platform that gives the user complete control over their digital assets. Communication on the Elastos network is encrypted and authorized by blockchain IDs. Elastos' network blockchain IDs determine how the data is processed and who has access to it. Elastos' runtime can have various forms: an independent operating system, a virtual machine, or a software development kit that integrates into native applications or other mainstream operating systems. Communication through runtime is sent through a trustable and identity verifiable channel linked to the blockchain IDs. The separation of applications from the network ensures that digital content won't be leaked. So you can see what I was talking about. Everything seemed to fall in place, starting to make sense why they've chosen the design architecture they've gone for. Moving on to scaling, to avoid bloating the main chain with unnecessary data, all the smart contracts and applications on Elastos run on sidechains. Elastos supports traditional programming language, making it relatively easy to write code. Elastos also supports popular programming frameworks. Elastos applications run on operating systems such as iOS, Android, and Windows, in addition to the local operating system, making the platform comparable to Web 2. Let's move on to interoperability. Elastos supports traditional programming language, making it relatively easy to write code. It also supports popular programming frameworks. Elastos applications run on operating systems such as iOS, Android, and Windows, in addition to the local operating system. For non-Elastos applications such as Android or iOS, users can access the Elastos Smart Web through Elastos Software Development Kit. Users can also log into non-Elastos applications using their Elastos Smart Web IDs. Users can also keep their non-Elastos applications data in the Elastos Cloud Storage, so it also incorporates cloud storage. Guys, pay attention. This project is a serious contender, challenging some of the largest crypto projects out there. Let's move on to social media presence via Twitter, the now called X. Elastos boasts just over 51,000 followers on X, and on Discord, the number is extremely low for a project like Elastos. There are only 1,438 members. Maybe they are not doing much to develop their Discord membership. I don't know, just puzzling. Let's move on to the project team. The Elastos Foundation is the core team dedicated to building out the foundational infrastructure of the Elastos Smart Web. The foundation is run by a 3-person board of directors that make funding decisions and mediate interactions between decentralized and independent development teams. So there is an element of centralization as far as the decision making is concerned. There are other facets to the decision making, which include third parties and independent parties, but that, having a team of directors, it makes it like a private company. Now let's move on to some use cases for Elastos. Ticker symbol ELA or ELA. The Elastos token or ELA is the intrinsic token on the Elastos blockchain. The ELA token can be used for trading, investing in digital assets, paying for blockchain processing fees, and the ELA token is also used to reward the merged miners, in this case Bitcoin miners, for generating blocks and processing transactions. Elastos Software Development Kit is used to integrate native applications of other mainstream operating systems, for example Android and iOS. Digital content creators can utilize the Elastos platform to produce and publish content on the platform. Developers can also develop and launch, as well as deploying applications or decentralized applications and smart contracts on the Elastos platform. Let's move on to tokenomics. Ticker symbol ELA. Token supply 28,220,000. Circulating supply 76% of that 28,220,000. On to token distribution. Feedback Bitcoin community 50%. Private equity 24%. Angel investors 15%. Elastos Foundation 11%. According to our own evaluation of these metrics, insider token allocation amounts to 50%, which is not ideal because it's heavily skewed towards insiders. And this will be reflected when we start start scoring Elastos as a project to establish the inherent risks associated with investing into a project like Elastos. Anyway, let's move on to the scoring part where we score the 13 elements we just reviewed from 0 to 10, 0 being minimum, 10 being the maximum or the best. A quick rundown of those 13 elements once more. So we've got decentralization, security, scaling, interoperability, the project team, social media presence via Twitter and via Discord. Well, Twitter is now X. Age of the project use cases, tokens issued at project launch, tokens in circulation at the time of recording, maximum tokens available, as well as insider token allocation. So let's start with decentralization. It's 5 points out of 10. On security, 7.5 points out of 10. On scaling, it's 10 points out of 10. On interoperability, it's 7.5 points out of 10. Project team is 2.5 points out of 10. On social media presence via Twitter, is 7.5 points out of 10. On social media presence via Discord, is 2.5 points out of 10. Age of the project, relatively old project, it's 5 points out of 10. Project use cases, 7.5 points out of 10. Tokens issued at project launch, 5 points out of 10. And tokens in circulation at the time of recording is 7.5 points out of 10. Maximum tokens available, it's got a hard cap, it's 7.5 points out of 10. Insider token allocation. Now, our threshold for insider token allocation, it's about 45%. Anything above that, it gets no score at all. It gets a 0. So in this case, because Elastos is sitting at 50% insider token allocation, we are going to give Elastos 0 points out of 10. So those are the scores we've allocated to Elastos. Do you guys agree? And if you hold Elastos, do you agree with the assessment we've done of Elastos as a platform to invest in? Let us know in the comment section. And the aggregate score for Elastos comes up to 75 points out of 130, which puts it within the could go to 0 category. Now, majority of the projects we've reviewed on this channel since we started this DYOR risk evaluation series have fallen within this could go to 0 category. Even those projects that have performed at higher levels, they could still go to 0. And I'm also including Bitcoin in that category. Why? Because under a specific set of circumstances, any crypto project will go to 0. That's a given. Now, do you guys agree with 75 points out of 130 that Elastos could go to 0? Let us know in the comment section. Currently, I do not hold Elastos, nor do we hold it within our private portfolio. But if the expected drawback comes, that is expected just before the halving, we'll make a move, definitely. If it doesn't, no sweat. There are other projects out there. You know, you've got over 20,000 projects now. A decent percentage of those are good projects. So we are not going to make a move yet, but we'll make it some point. Anyway, guys, that's it on Elastos. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Any project, do you think Elastos will compete head-to-head with the likes of Internet Computer, Ethereum, Tommy, and Ton? Let us know in the comment section. Until the next video, guys, I'm your host, FD465.tv, signing out for now. Bye.